Thank you. I am so glad you all joined us today. Do you feel the energy? It's going to get more and more. Jeanette, thank you. That's good. She's responsible for all this. And thank the people who have helped put this together. It's beautiful. And since Jeanette announced that she has a new phone, do you want her number? I'm delighted to be able to share with you science. This is going to be a very rapid-fire science, and know that the brochure that we have for you has almost all of what I'm going to cover in here. I'll do a little bit more, but in here is the results of what I'm going to present, so it's duplicatable for you right now. I have a specific focus, and that is this, that you'll recognize that this bottle looks terrific, but it actually even works better than it looks. Let's talk about you. This is about you. In one day, in one single day, your heart beats 100,000 times. In one day, your body actually sheds 36 million skin cells. You have 100 hairs on your head that are lost. And some of you are a little bit more aggressive at that than others. You produce 3 pints of urine. Your stomach produces 2 liters of hydrochloric acid. Your body expels 2 liters of gas. Some of you are overproducers there as well. But that's okay, because we have a probiotic product for you. The body has 650 muscles. It takes 17 to smile and 42 to frown. Why do we have to work so hard to frown? We're going to smile more because you're going to make us look really good. Your body is 70% water. Your body contains 5 liters of blood that travels through 100,000 kilometers of blood vessels. That means if you grabbed a hold of one vein and started pulling it and drew every single vein and artery in your body out, you could wrap it around the world 2 or 3 times. That's why it's so important to have the dark chocolate inside all of these tubes in your body. Nerves are made of neurons. I'm actually going to show you some microscopic photos of this in a little bit. And messages that are sent through these neurons travel at 224 miles an hour. You are a miraculous being. Neurons are the longest single cells in the body, meaning a single cell, a single nerve, from the brain all the way to your feet exists. It can be 4 feet long, one cell. A new category in anti-aging is appropriate, and I wanted to introduce you to some of the statistics and facts about your body first. So we have done that. Don't you all agree we are all a miracle? As such, don't you think you deserve the best? Isn't the best made from God and delivered in the highest antioxidant form in cocoa? Yes, I'm here to validate what we've found along those lines. Xophoria unlocks the natural skin-enhancing benefits of cacao and other nutrients to help you look great and feel even better. I'm probably going to hear that sentence said a lot. Look good and feel even better. How many of you have already tried the product and can attest to that? Look around the room. That number is going to double by the time we get to Reno, I predict. The 3 focal points that we have today are, number 1, this is unique because it's cacao-based. It's the first. It's the only. And you know that the cocoa, the raw cold-pressed cocoa, is the finest antioxidant in the world. Also, we are a neurocosmetic. That makes us smart, right? Yeah. Well, that's one interpretation. Neurocosmetic means it stimulates the skin, which triggers responses in the brain, which give us a neurological benefit. both for our skin and for our brain. And the third focus is, I'm going to talk to you about the results. I'm going to show you the results, and we're going to talk about the ingredients producing those results. So the first and only neurocosmetic. What do you think about this? We've got nerve cells that are taken a picture of in a microscope on the far left. Neurocosmetic means it stimulates response in the skin, travels up the nerves, and triggers another response in the brain, giving both. The feel-good connection is what we're talking about here. We can actually feel good because there's improvements in our mental focus, in our relieving of stress, and it enhances mood. Let me talk to you a little bit about relieving stress. Did you realize that stress is the cause of aging process, both mental stress and physical stress? So if you're put under stress and you survive it, you become a stronger being for it. So let's take a look at this cocoa bean, this raw cocoa that's grown at the equator, and it undergoes continuous sun exposure, which is radiation, which are free radicals. Its response is that the skin on this cocoa becomes very, very powerful at neutralizing the radiation from the sun. It's a very powerful antioxidant. And when we take the skin off of the bean and we take the bean itself, they have two separate purposes, and they both neutralize free radicals, and that transfers to us when we put it on our body. So we've taken this cocoa bean that survived all this radiation by neutralizing it with antioxidants, put it in and on our body where we get that benefit. That's why I say the finest antioxidant produced by God, and your body is pre-programmed to use its healing properties. That's what makes it the perfect ingredient. Theospheres are going to deliver it, though. Theosphere. Jeanette helped coin this name, and what it means is that it can transfer the ingredients from the cacao down inside your skin into a much deeper level and hydrate in the process. This is important because when you have dry skin, sometimes it gets leathery and nothing wants to penetrate. You've seen this before on people's dry feet and dry elbows. So what you're getting is you're getting the ability to deliver in tiny, tiny particles a fat-soluble product that can carry the cacao deeper into your skin, and it will trigger the nerves as well as a hydrating effect. These are reasons why it works. This is some chemistry. If I can figure out how to push the button in the center. Okay, we'll try real quick. There we go. This, can you see that dot on the wall? Barely. In an electron microscope, we take pictures of these theospheres. That's what they look like. They're so tiny that they can fit inside a single cell. Now, they're going on your skin, through your skin, and into your cells. This is a chemical depiction of what a theosphere is. It has a fat-soluble outer ring, and it has an inner DNA activity where once it's delivered down deep into the skin, it can deliver this response and your body will respond to it. Immune stimulators are also a part of that DNA. So not only are you getting the healing and moisturizing effect from this actual cream, but your body is being stimulated to have an action. And again, in an electron microscope, this is a picture of what those theospheres look like. So again, we're taking a new approach to deliver the finest antioxidant available. So what is euphoric? People have different inclinations to respond to the word euphoria. Euphoria, is it peaceful? Is it totally exciting? Is it anxiety? There's a lot of different responses. But cacao delivers euphoria in a way that relieves stress, By relieving stress mentally and stress in your skin is much healthier, it's smoother, fine lines are reduced, and the dimpled fat deposits aren't there as much because they come from when the skin is just partially tensed up all the time. So by relaxing the stress in your brain and on your skin, you're going to look younger, you're going to heal quicker, you're also not going to suffer the restrictions that stress places on your body, and you're not going to be subjected to stress hormones. It will protect from free radicals, which is basically saying we're going to reduce inflammation. When someone says, oh, I've got puffy eyes, I've got puffy face, I've got all this free radical damage is what they're talking about, you're now getting an opportunity to put this on your skin and reduce that. It relaxes facial muscles. It stimulates collagen. Let me tell you why that matters. Your skin is made up of tiny fibers called elastin, and they're made from fibronectin. They're like little fibers of fiberglass. And then the collagen fills in soft and smooth and flexible. And elastin fills in to make your skin flexible and stretchy and young and youthful. These are significant stimulating factors that have to be produced or your skin ages before its time because it gets inflexible, thick, and cracky or dry. Again, a triggering of endorphins happens not only in the skin, but in the brain as well. So you can have those hormones that trigger mood. Now watch this. By the raise of hands, how many of you know someone who actually claims to have a hormonal response or a euphoric response to chocolate? Now, how many have a response to the Xocai chocolate? Look at all the hands. You don't have to be convinced, nor does the world have to be convinced. It's just now that science is able to explain how and why, and that this response is occurring. Xophoria formulation does include the acai berry, the cacao, and the blueberry in a proprietary formulation. It's called Xovita. This proprietary combination of ingredients is significant because what happens is this. As antioxidants give one electron and neutralize free radicals, what happens is the acai berry will donate to the cacao. And the blueberry will donate, and it will continuously provide a lot longer response than any single antioxidant alone. So they recharge each other, and by doing so, you get a much greater and longer effect. Here's the ingredients you came to talk about. Many of them have big words. Many of them have words hardly anybody can say, but I want to talk to them very directly. And I want to talk to you about where they come from and why they were used. Palmitoyl tripeptide 38 is a polypeptide. And whenever you hear the word peptide, you know that it's an incomplete section of an amino acid that the body gets inside of itself to trigger healing. So when you see peptide, that is the trigger, natural trigger, for your body to start to produce collagen and elastin, the two ingredients that make soft, smooth, new skin. It's important because it stimulates 6 different major constituents of the skin matrix. It smooths wrinkles and it rebuilds the skin. Oligopeptide, again the word peptide, is a healthy amino acid that reduces uneven skin pigmentation and dark age spots. So now we're going to help rebuild the skin in a discoloration situation. This is a word that I prefer not to say because I'm going to blow it, aren't I? Acetyl dipeptide 1-acetylester. Wow, I practiced all week and I didn't blow it. Okay. It's another polypeptide. This is the one that fights gravity. It's not an anti-gravity product, but it does reduce the sagging And it does reduce the stretching of the skin due to gravity pulling on it all the time. And why can it do that? Because it's signaling the body, produce more collagen, produce more elastin, make that skin more young and more flexible and more stretchy instead of sagging as much. It stimulates these significant ingredients that produce healthy skin. This ingredient is Vitex agnus castus. What that means is that it comes from a vegetable source. It's an extract given a big name because it came from a vegetable that has a similar Latin name. It's a phytoendorphin complex that enhances mood. Enhances mood. Well, what that means is we're going to trigger the endorphins in the surface of the skin, and they're going to travel. Remember I said you've got a nerve that's 4.5 feet long sometimes, a single cell? That's what we're triggering. A single nerve goes all the way to the brain. Then the brain releases some mood enhancement as well. This is the happy ingredient that stimulates endorphins. Licorice root extract. Licorice root extract has big names like glycyrrhizinate and such, but it's a plant source. It's used as an anti-inflammatory and an all-natural source. And this compound protects the skin's connective tissue. That means the connections that hold your skin together so that you don't overstretch and then have to heal. That's where you get stretch marks from, so this will prevent that from happening. This is called squalene, and it's from olive oil. It's a big name, and a lot of people will beat it up on the internet, but know that it's an olive oil source, and olive extract that actually increases skin respiration. Now, if I was to take your skin and put Vaseline on it, would it be slippery? Yeah. Would it help you hold the moisture? Well, of course it would, but it would cover the skin and occlude the skin and make it so that it wouldn't breathe anymore. And when you do that, your skin turns into what your hands look like when you go swimming for hour after hour. You kind of turn into Shar-Pei puppy skin, don't you? It's thick and it's wrinkled and it's purple, and you're like, wow, I've got too much skin. I got to trim some of it off. So you have to have skin that breathes. That's why this particular ingredient was chosen, because it imparts moisture and it prevents water loss from the skin surface. Aloe barbadensis leaf is an extract of aloe. Who knows that aloe is good for the skin? Yeah, everybody does, but do you know why? Well, the why is because it delivers polysaccharides. Poly means many. Saccharides mean the kind of ingredients that feed the skin cells and makes them healthy and functional instead of just lay there and kind of get overstretched. This results in moisturization and soothing of damaged skin because it helps feed the cells that are actually regrowing or healing. Beta vulgaris is a beetroot extract, and it's a vegetable source. It's got a big word again. You're going to see a lot of big chemical words, but know that 90% of them come from a fruit or a vegetable source like this. This is important because it is quick and long-lasting moisturization. I don't know anybody that takes a beet, grinds it up, and puts it on their skin, but I do know people that consume it regularly to help inside the body retain the moisture of the skin that's growing. You see, you grow all new skin every 28 days, and you need to grow from the inside as well as on the outside to make sure it's healthy. Beta-glucan. My daughter, who's 23, says to me, Beta-glucan? You're starting to sound like Star Trek, Dad. And what does this Xophoria mean? He says, it sounds like you've got a bunch of Xophorians from the planet Xophoria who take these beta-glucans out to battle. And I says, no, honey, this is a little different. And all I had to do was put one drop on her hand and rub it in. And she says, I don't care who you have to fight, give me some of that. So that's the point to all of this, but we do have explanations. Beta-glucan may sound like a big word and a chemical name, but remember, it comes from sugar and clay, naturally occurring sugars, and clay. It rehydrates, restructures, repairs, and the skin that's been compromised. In other words, it helps with the healing process. It stimulates the synthesis of flagellin and, oh man, there's a word, aquaporin 3 essential molecules. I know these are big words. Remember though, we got them from things like sugar and clay, from beetroot, from licorice root, from these different sources. Stabilized vitamin C is a plant source of vitamin C. Vitamin C is increasing collagen, decreases melanin synthesis. Melanin is what causes those age spots, the dark spots. Melanin production is what you get in an abnormal form to cause a dark liver spot. So by reducing this, you get a fading of dark aging spots. Now, in the experience I have seen on people, I've seen those dark aging spots disappear in about 60 to 90 days. And I said the word disappear, that's incorrect. They're about half gone in 60 to 90 days. Now, here's the point of all of this wonderful product. You're going to get expectations right here and right now as to what you can expect from this product. Here's what you can expect. Short-term and long-term effects. The short-term effects that you're going to find in the first time you apply the product and during the first week are going to be softness, smoothness, texture changes, hydration, moisturization, and something that you're going to feel and go, wow, I like the way I feel. Now, long term, in 60 days, you can start to expect that your skin has grown totally out twice, because every month you get new skin. By doing so in 60 days, you're going to start to see significant reduction in wrinkles, in those dark age spots, in the heavy lines, in your forehead and worry lines. Those don't go away overnight. They do take a little time for your skin to grow out. But softness, smoothness, texture, flexibility, and hydration happen immediately. Pore reduction technology. That's spelled P-O-R-E, not P-O-O-R. And pore reduction is sometimes we get these pores. And the more we wash them, the more inflammation we get, and that pore gets larger and more pronounced. By reducing the inflammation, you're going to have a terrific way of seeing those overexposed pores go down about 50% in the first couple of weeks, which also tightens pores and fights shininess. Now, I know there's a lot of makeups out there that I guess fight shininess, but how nice is it to say, I've had this happen twice this morning, I'm not wearing any makeup, just Xophoria, and look how good I look. And that is why you guys are going to make us look so good. Now, what about daisy flower extract? When I was doing my naturopathic doctor's degree, I actually had to study books on flowers because certain flowers are used as antidepressants. Did you know that? And essential oils that use flowers are used as antidepressants. So does it surprise you that daisy flower extract lightens spots, evens out skin damage, and is a mood booster? All of those things have been documented and published in book after book after book. Betaine is an ingredient that helps improve skin's moisture. Now, since you're 70%, your body is 70% water, if you dehydrate even 2%, your skin is significantly different, significantly at risk, and significantly damageable. So by improving your skin's moisture, relieving irritation and inflammation, your skin's going to look better almost immediately. Improves tight junction integrity of the epidermis. What that means is where your skin, called epidermis, comes up against your fingernails. Some people have really, really dry areas and they flake off and they peel and they bleed and they crack. By keeping that junction moisturized, you don't have that scabbing and that tearing and that flaking off because the water in the skin is holding the moisture. The elastin and collagen are making it more flexible, and you don't have those nasty bleeding nails that some people have. Clean, safe water for superior moisturization was used here. Many people don't think water matters that much, but boy, is that changing. Californians know water matters that much. So, before we start going to the tap and pouring a big barrel full of water and using whatever chemicals are in there, we do not do that with your topical product. Why? Well, first of all, we want to clean it with a carbon filter. So we're going to neutralize the acids, we're going to neutralize the impurities that might be in there. We're also going to run it through reverse osmosis. So we're going to take out the heavy particles, we're going to take out the heavy metals, we're going to take out the chlorines, we're going to take out the fluorines. We're going to end up with water that has no total dissolved solids. That's a measurement that we have the cleanest, purest water possible. Run it through submicron filtration after that to take out every particle that you can't even hardly see in a microscope. And UV sterilization. Ultraviolet light can actually kill microbes. So by doing so, we've destroyed anything that could be infected bacteria. We've taken out all the heavy metals and all the particles. You end up with just pure, filtered water. It's a great place to start. That way we know we're not getting something in there that is going to be harmful for your skin. Then, these are the ingredients on your label that I didn't cover yet that come from vegetable sources. All of these come from vegetable sources. So you're going to hear names like glycerin, glycerol stearate, cedarol alcohol, Vitex. All of these, every one of them comes from a vegetable. Like potatoes in an extract form is where we get the alcohol from. You've got beta vulgaris, that's beetroot. You've got aloe barbadensis. You've got all these different ingredients. Allantonin, sorbitan laurate, all of these names come from a vegetable source. So we'll put this out there for you. And my Dr. Chocolate will have all of these ingredients in all these categories. Why? Because I think the biggest question that I've been asked in the last 12 hours was, how come it's not 100% natural? Let me tell you exactly what you've got. First of all, you've got the finest of all natural right here. These are vegetable sources. Now look how many fruit-sourced ingredients we have. Fruit sources like lecithin, fruit sources like hydroxymethyl cellulose, grapeseed extract, grapeseed leaf extract. All these different ingredients come from fruit and vegetable sources. So right off the bat, 90% of your ingredients come from the all-natural sources. Now, let me ask you a question and change the subject just a little bit. If you are going to climb Mount Everest, and you are trying to go through all those winter temperatures and all the extremes of nature, would you want to go with a plastic sheet over you, like they did with wool and plastic in the 1950s? Oh, and by the way, died doing it? Or would you rather have Gore-Tex that's waterproof but allows you to breathe? Now, think of Gore-Tex for a minute. It's man-made. It's not wool. Nobody tries to climb Mount Everest with wool anymore. Why? It's not good enough. Or vinyl, or plastic, because it occludes your body. You end up sweating from the inside out and boiling in your own toxins. Now, with that application, there are 4 very special ingredients that will help this product penetrate through the skin, take the moisture, let your skin breathe, and get more moisturization, more transfer of a cocoa, and if we didn't use a couple of man-made ingredients, we'd actually be using something like shea butter and some of these other important natural ingredients, but they occlude the skin. It's like putting saran wrap over your skin. Oh yeah, you get an immediate benefit, but you also get long-term Shar-Pei puppy skin from it as well. So when we say you get results-based products, We're using the Gore-Tex level of technology to transfer moisture and yet let your skin breathe, while the all-natural products, and there's a lot of them out there, are very good, but they don't always allow your skin to breathe. Or, if they let your skin breathe, they can't penetrate down in to moisturize. So, if you're climbing Mount Everest, I think everybody in here would want that Gore-Tex, and that is what I'm talking about. 90% natural, all vegetable, all fruit-based ingredients, and 4 very important compounds. And here's the skincare compounds. These are important because they give you slippery skin. The glycols give you slippery skin, smooth, soft, immediate, and your skin gets to breathe. This one, dimethylhexylcarbonate, is important because it gives you that smooth skin because it's penetrating 4 times deeper into your skin than some of the all-natural ingredients can. You've got chlorphencin, which is a micro and an inflammation product. What does micro mean? That means it's tiny. Those little theospheres, those tiny, tiny little beads, can get down into your body without creating an inflammation. Many people who use the totally, completely all-natural or Vaseline or alginate-based gels and lotions put it on their skin, it totally clogs their pores, it totally occludes their skin, and it can't breathe. They end up with a worse problem later, and they have to go off of it for a while. Not so with these kind of products. And the last one is the phenoxyethanol is a skin lightening agent. Now, it's nice to help with an all-natural product to lighten your skin, but you know what? Jeanette and I really didn't want to put young boy urine in there to have the old-fashioned form of skin lightening agent. And we knew that would just piss you off. So I'm sorry. So with that, aren't you glad that we've got something like this that's going to help lighten your skin slowly, securely, steadily, under your skin, in your skin now? I want some response here by the raise of hands. Don't you love the fact that 90% or more of all the ingredients in here are supported or come from a vegetable or fruit source? Anybody happy with that? I am. Now, you've got 4 skincare components that have specific benefits that are 100 times more valuable than what we can give you with ground up leaf petals or little boy urine or some of these other things. If you agree this is a really terrific combination, raise your hand. Any problem with that anywhere? Isn't it better we deal with it direct and straight? And an applause to the common sense formulator, Jeanette, for doing so. This is not my death mask, but I brought it up in case you didn't clap the right way, then it would be. Now, with this in mind, you've got a situation where we're going to show you some before and afters. And I love that show, Mythbusters. How many love Mythbusters? Yeah. Well, sometimes I find myself playing Mythbusters like I was in the show. So I said to Jeanette, I got to take this product and do Mythbusters. And she starts laughing. So I did. And I have access to doctor tools that everybody doesn't have access to, like lasers and like infrared lights and like cameras that have filters that can take pictures under your skin and through your skin. So I did that. And I didn't have very much time to do a 6-month study, but I did have some time. So here's some skin damage, and it's measured in this particular photograph by lasers and infrared filters, and ultraviolet damage is what's being measured. So what you can see, these dark spots, some of them are moles, but most of the dark spots here, like right there, are actual sun damage that in a very short time are going to become cancerous. These are darkened, damaged, free radical damaged parts on my face that I was like, wow, I better pay attention to this. I know you all think that I'm 33, but if you really cut off my finger and count my rings, I'm well into my 50s. So I have to pay attention to where the sun has been cooking me as well. So then I took these pictures before, I use twice a day the cream, and I have some other benefits. I had improvement in my circulation. This is a camera that takes a picture down under the skin, and I'm seeing improvement in my circulation. I'm going to show you the computer's analysis of it here in a minute. What you've got here is there's been a significant increase, 10.75% increase in smoothness, a 4% decrease in the average blood level over the selected region, and a significant reduction in inflammation, and many, many, many times less free radical damaged precancerous cells. So the computer gathered in 1 week results. Now, that didn't say 150%, it said 10%, but it was also only in 1 week. I only had this week to get this together and have access to these tools. Now, with that stated, I have my own testimonial that I speak in my language, and my testimonial is, I use this product and I know in 1 week I'm better off for it. At my basal level, at my circulation level, at my precancerous cell level, at the sun damage level. Why? Because my people that I talk to want to hear me talk like that, and they want to see the photos and the computer printout. You need a testimonial that says, I put it on the back of one hand and not on the other hand. This is much more better. It feels better. It's softer. It's smoother. The texture's greater. And my spots are starting to fade after 60 days. Why? Because you ultimately are going to be the ones that make us look really good. So I did a before and after. I love the fact that the after is so far in the background you couldn't see any damage if you wanted to. But I went to a professional photographer who I'd never met, and I said, take my picture before. Not only did I go and have all this expensive camera machines done at the skin clinic, but I also went to JCPenney's and said to your photographer who takes pictures of all the little babies, take my picture really close up. So they did, and I'm going to show you some of those pictures. But this was my before and this is my after, and I've got some closer up versions here. So this one's comparing the right size head with the right size head there. That's better. But what you can see here in the before is I have the damage up here. I have a redness I didn't even know I had. I have some damage and some blood vessels that are starting to show up. You can see the skin texture, tone, and color is starting to change. Now, you can see it much better in a higher resolution camera, but this one was taken in a very high resolution camera. And if you look close here, see this red spot here and this red spot? I didn't even know I had that. I started looking closer, but look, after 1 week, look at the sun damage here. Look, it started to fade. And look at the red spots along here that are not nearly as pronounced as they were in 1 week. So can I say I'm having a benefit? Yeah. The computer measured it and said a 10%, almost 11% improvement. I got even closer. You can see the before and afters. And this is the kind of thing that you're going to maybe choose to do or maybe not. But I guarantee you in the wellness report, there's a lot of testimonials. There's a lot of before and afters. The big trick for you is to put it on, smile, and make us look really good. I believe we've got enough science for you. In skin, it's anatomy and physiology. Up on the top surface, this gets washed off every day, and we wash off thousands, tens of thousands of cells every day, which means they have to be built down here at the bottom or basal level. Well, down here at the basal level, you're producing new cells. And if free radicals are damaging those cells, that's where abnormal cell growth comes from. If you have no free radicals, your cells reproduce perfectly every time. Does that mean you'll never age? Theoretically, yeah. And does that mean it can reverse age? Yes. So you've got the different layers of cells. Day 1, cells grow here. By day 28, they've moved through the different layers of the skin to where they're washing off. Every 28 days, brand new skin. So, isn't it important to take that anti-aging capsule to build from the inside out at the same time we're wearing this wonderful Xophoria? Again, why we're unique? Simply put, we're the only and first cocoa-based product for the skin. That's significant because anti-aging is whoever can deliver the most antioxidants to the skin. And cacao is the finest of all of those agents. Neurocosmetic, you're going to feel better. We've got numerous ingredients that penetrate through your skin and help trigger an endorphin response. And results-based, I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet of the results that are out there. There are many, many more. Jeremy, do we have time to do the skin pinch test? That's a thumbs up. So yes, anyone who would like your own testimonial can join me right now. If you'd like, we would like you to test with us this wonderful Xophoria, and the product's name is Xophoria. I'd like everyone to put one drop of it on one hand and not on the other, so you have something to compare to. If you have your own, or if not, are we going to put it on everybody, Jeremy? We did. Listen to me. Okay. The people that have the lotion, I'm going to call it a cream, that's a better answer. The hand with cream on goes up in the air. Everybody raise the hand with cream on it. This is a time when we're going to do something called a skin pinch test. We're going to pinch the back of our hand for 10 seconds and see how long it takes to return to normal. Here's the cream hand. You're pinching the dry hand. With me, in 3 seconds, we're going to begin. 3, 2, 1. Pinch that skin up firmly and hard and hold it. We're going to continue to hold it for 10 seconds. Do not look at me any longer. Look at your hand. You're going to watch until every wrinkle is gone. In 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you get to 29, you have 92-year-old skin. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I did that because of the last meeting we did, Jeremy. We had 2 people in the 28-second category. They were only in their 50s. Interesting thought. Okay, who knows your number? No cheating, right? Okay, now remember that number. The dry hand is now going to pinch the cream hand, the Xophoria hand. In 3 seconds, 2, 1, pinch the cream hand now for 10 seconds. Hold it up firmly and strongly. The difference is going to be significant to you. If you have a lower number on the cream hand, that means we've reduced the age or biologic age of your skin. Ready to release? Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen to the audience. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't have to go any farther, do I? No. Okay, now, let's see. I don't think I even have to ask. Did you hear the emotion in the audience? Does that mean you had a lower number? If so, if your second number was lower and we reduced the age or biologic age of your skin, I want you to raise your hand. Look around. If you got older, raise your hand. Not one. And if you did, we were going to question which hand you pinched, weren't we? Okay, did you just see a testimonial that every single one of you have? It's this simple. I tried the product on one hand, and after half an hour or hour, I know that the hand I put this cream on had more flexibility, was softer, was smoother, had better texture, and I'm telling you it's because you were more hydrated. Everybody agree with that? That's 5 really great testimonials. Now, I'm going to go quickly because I think we're running out of time. Combining supplements with cosmetics is significant from the inside out. Here are the 10 bullet points that I have proven ingredient by ingredient in the brochures and in the information we've talked about. Number one is anti-aging and antioxidation is the number one benefit. Number two, it is lightening of dark age spots. But expect that in 60 days, not in 2. 3, it's a moisturizer and anti-wrinkle product in 60 days. Natural moisturizing factors, hydration, suppleness, regeneration of skin are number 4. These are all terrific benefits that we can use. Number 5, firming. Number 6, softness and smoothness. Number 7, mood enhancement. Oh, I read a study just this week and it said anyone who takes 3 deep breaths of raw cocoa will stimulate improved mood. Okay, hand with the cream on it, up to your nose. We're all going to sound like we're sniffing cocaine. 3 deep breaths. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I should have had you do that first. I'd have had a much better mood this whole talk, right? Now, if you feel better, just pay attention to that. Just pay attention. That's up to you and it's your issue. Number 8 is skin respiration without water loss. That's why we have all the ingredients we have. You want it hydrated, but it better breathe. And if you put Vaseline or some shea butters or other cocoa, some other than our cocoa-based product, you're going to find that it occludes the skin. You'll get the reverse benefit long term. 9, you have absorption and penetration deep into the skin with theospheres. 10, gravity control and lifting and tightening. I think I have a video to show you, and I'm going to hopefully have it come up right now. This is what cells look like in your body when they're normal. It lasts 10 seconds, then it'll move to the next video. So I'm looking in a microscope. These are damaged cells that just barely are starting to be damaged. Notice how they get pointy sides. Notice how there's starting to be stickiness between them. This isn't damaged by free radical. Free radically damaged red blood cells. They won't transfer oxygen as much. They won't get where they should as much. Here's what happens to them from free radicals. They stick together and don't transfer nutrients or oxygen as much anymore. They cause blood clots. Here is a close-up in a microscope of cells that are damaged by free radicals. See how spiky they are? That's what your skin looks like when it's ultimately damaged. So here's that same free radical damage in the accumulation of cells. You can see it's got the same puckery look to it. Now look at this lady. She said she got that way because she drove only in one side of her husband's truck all the time. Can you see the sun damage on one side and not the other? This is a baby, and you can't see it very much, but this is a baby who's been exposed to detergent on the pillow and the face got all red and rashy. Here is Grandpa. Grandpa's hand is a little dry, a little sun damaged, and will return very quickly when Xophoria is used. But if you let it get too far, it's hard to bring back. The important thing I'm going to show you here at the very end is these are free radicals destroyed one cell. We're going to play it again. Look at this. One triggers another, and you're watching a cell literally turn into a free radical before your eyes. Here you'll see that there's little white segments damaging from one cell to the next, spreading free radical damage. Those cells are becoming abnormal in the presence of the sun. Radiation is damaging those cells right before your eyes. We're now looking down the artery. In the artery, see it swelling? See it swelling now. And free radicals are making the cells stick together. You're not getting as much blood flow through. You're not getting as much of the nutrients as you should. But here comes the antioxidants. Antioxidants are going to cause a reduction in the swelling of the artery, and it's going to start breaking up those sticky cells. So when you see the wave of antioxidants right there, now watch what happens. The artery opens or dilates, and the individual red blood cells are started to become normal, not sticky, not clogging again. See all these little dots that are floating around? Those are free radicals looking for a cell to destroy. 10,000 free radicals every hour trying to destroy normal cells. You see why we need antioxidants? Here it is again. Free radicals are starting to not only destroy, but look at these abnormal growths that are starting to occur. These gummy, sticky, white marshmallow-looking things are free radicals that are starting to stick the cells together. Now, here's the theosphere look. Here's these stained antioxidants entering a cell, killing all the free radicals, and turning that cell normal again. This is an antioxidant entering a healthy cell, making that cell healthy again. So you've got a situation where you actually are seeing the benefit, the real benefit. Here it goes again. Running the same thing again so you can see the stained antioxidant enter the cell, neutralizing the free radicals and normalizing the function of that cell. I'm not supposed to tell you that's a cancer cell, so I won't. That cell becomes normal in 1 minute when antioxidants enter. Now, why is that important? Here's my befores and afters. That cellular damage that was occurring on my face is now started to be reversed because of the antioxidants. The circulation on my face is improving, and you saw exactly why. The dilation of the arteries are getting better, the delivery of blood flow is becoming more complete, and what you're going to see is benefits not just cellularly, but on the skin, on the surface of the skin. Yeah, everyone's going to come up to me afterward and start touching my face and looking close, but instead I give you her face. Look at those crow's feet before, look at those 2 months after. Before and after under a microscope now. Look at this, before and after under a microscope. 60 days, isn't that much smoother than it was before? Exactly what you were hoping to see. Now, I've got this little demonstration here as we're going through the nerves of the brain, and I want you to recognize those are the neurons in the brain and the nerve bodies and all the axons and dendrites, and this is a synapse. When that nerve binds to the other nerve, electromagnetic pulses go through that nerve to send a nerve signal. That is where you have made a memory. But free radicals interfere with that electromagnetic motion. That chemistry changes and you lose a memory. You lose a lot of things. But in the last year, synaptogenesis, the genesis of making synapses, is for the first time recorded. Here you've got different parts of the nerve cell body. I want you to pay attention to these plates right here. This is a nerve cell body. This is the long nerve going to your body. DHA comes from omega-3 fatty acids. In the presence of omega-3 fatty acids and in the presence of amino acids, your nerve regrows. The myelin around the nerve regrows. So this is an animation of regrowing nerves, rehooking up your memory in the presence of antioxidants and the omega-3 fatty acids. I can think of products that have that in here, and they're in the MXI. Now watch this. This is the actual, in a microscope, regrowth of that nerve. See it regrowing? For the first time, a memory just got remembered. This is the regrowth of nerves. It's never been seen before this year, and it only occurs in the presence of omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. So, here's another nerve cell. Watch it starting to grow at the top of the screen up there. You're actually seeing a brand new nerve cell grow there as well. What you've seen now is dramatic proof that we're regrowing nerve cells in the presence of omega-3 fatty acids and in the presence of antioxidants. So watch that same thing again. It's that dramatic. Your nerve is regrowing. But when we waft a little vapor of mercury, just a vapor, across here, watch what happens. It's going to melt the brain. Literally melt the brain. So here's these networks in the brain, and it's called neurogenesis, which is over time, we think our brain can't regrow. It can now, but only if it's got the proper nutrition. Now, you've got this new thought that's being rewired to another brain cell. With this in mind, you can change neural growth. Look at this. This is fantastic antioxidant action, stretching out, regrowing, and literally making a new memory. And if there's any wire left and the myelin has been stripped off, in this case, the memory can actually come back on that same course. Here, you're seeing it here. You're actually going to see a shrinkage up here at the top. Simply the vapor of mercury, right here, mercury just goes across, totally melts the brain. And it leaves that fiber. We're regrowing the nerve back on the fiber. But the point is, you have seen brain melted right there. The brain melts just from the vapor of a free radical. The antioxidants and the omega-3 fatty acids are required to help regrow that. Isn't it fantastic that we can prove it's regrowing now? I think it is. And we're leading that. I think that's it, but I want to close by suggesting to you that the pictures speak more highly than anything I can. Your body is more significant than anything else you have. If you wear it out, where are you going to live, right? And if you're going to want to sell a product, you just need to look the best you can possibly be. People will come to you, I guarantee it. With that in mind, remember the capsules. We can regrow the thoughts you've lost. Remember, the antioxidants are there to regrow not only skin cells, improve your mood, but how fantastic is this for the first time that we can see the brain melting and we can see it regrowing in the presence of proper nutrition. With that, I would like anybody who gave all their hard efforts at the counters, at the tables, at the decorations, putting this together to stand, please. All of you, come on. Your applause for them. Thank them. And know that the facts are in this brochure. You've got the ingredients in there. With that, I'm getting some hand signals, and it's not the right finger. Try the other one. Oh, I'm supposed to suggest we're going to introduce somebody. Would you introduce her appropriately, please?